Presence, directed by Steven Soderbergh and written by David Nope. I did not expect to do this video whatsoever. Out of all the horror films out right now, like Companion, Hard Eyes, and this was definitely at the top for me. But I wasn't like excited out of my mind, you know? And I don't know, just based on the concept and stuff, I don't know, it could be very hit or miss. So I just wasn't, I wasn't over the moon excited, and I did not expect to do a video. Even if I liked it, I just didn't expect it. And thankfully, I was pleasantly surprised by this movie. And honestly, I feel like it was very mismarketed. Those posters are chilling, great posters, and the trailer as well. I feel like the trailer, it's just completely marketed as a horror film, and it's not really horror. It's definitely a spin on the horror genre, but judging the film on what it is, it's not really horror. It's more than anything a drama ghost story. And I know when you hear the word ghost, immediately it's like scary. But honestly, I do not think it's scary whatsoever. There's nothing wrong with that because I don't think it was trying to be. The film was essentially an art film. It was essentially an experiment, and I loved it. I think they pulled it off. If you know what this film's about, it's a film from the perspective of a ghost, from a spirit, from a presence. And it's not, the movie doesn't try to do like, oh, it's all shot in one take. It's not one of those experiment gimmick type of things, but there is a lot of wonders in this film. And I know that the director himself is the cinematographer, so it's like he is a character. The director himself is a character because he's holding the camera with the gimbal. It was just very well done. I feel like the presence never crossed boundaries, where it just felt like, okay, like, why, how convenient you're there, or how convenient you're leaving the house. Like, the film completely stays in this house 100% of the time. And I just felt like it was done very well. Like the way the camera would react to things, there's like a delay. It's not necessarily like the camera would just pan perfectly this, follow, like the camera did react. And I thought that was really cool because again, it's the perspective of the presence. The way it was lit was amazing. There's just so many lamps, so much atmospheric lighting. It doesn't feel staged. Sometimes things are very low lit, but you're not struggling to see. It's just low lit, like how a house is sometimes when you don't have all the lights on. And I just felt like the lighting was beautiful, and the whole thing was very immersive. It was done very realistically, to be honest. It was very grounded. Like the house, it did look lived in, even though this is a rich family. Um, a huge house, a huge old house, even though it had all that going for it. Unlike other films, when there's a rich family, everything looks like no one lives here, or like a maid is there 24/7. The house looked lived in without being messy, and I really appreciated that because it added some realism. For me, what made the film, well, actually, let me say my one little critique. My one little critique is the script a little bit sometimes. I did feel like, we all love show don't tell, right? That's the secret sauce for good cinema. And I do feel like sometimes characters were telling you how they feel, telling you everything. Or like kind of like exposition or like understanding the characters, but it kind of works because the film is very short. It's under an hour and a half. I think it's like an hour and 20 minutes. The film is very short, and they don't, like I said, it's realistic. So the presence isn't with them at all times. And so you're kind of like just jumping. Like they never tell you how long the time period is, but I would assume this film takes over a place of like maybe 3 months, 3 to 5 months. And they never tell you, but you just see this family's relationship develop, and it's a family drama. The family is starts off at a bad point, and it gets bad, and it gets a little better, and it's just constantly fluctuating like a real family, which I like. But sometimes characters were just telling the audience really like, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and like, I have a secret, let me say my secret. And it just, sometimes that was a little unrealistic. I couldn't help but cringe slightly at the script for that, but very small. It didn't really take me out. It didn't really bother me. It's just something I observed. But what really made this film was the ending. And I love endings. I mean, we all love endings. The way a movie starts and the way a movie ends is so important. Of course, we all know this. But for me personally, I feel like endings, if they're done really well, whether that be epic, whether that be emotional, whether that be open-ended, if it's just done really well, it just elevates a movie for me always. And I love when a film could do that. And this film's ending is just so cathartic. It just changes the perspective. It's just a perfect ending in the sense where you learn something, cut, fade to black, and then it just changes your perspective of the film. And then you're just processing the whole film now, and you're just like, well, this all makes sense now. And I love that. I love when a film just really makes it the way it ends forces you to reevaluate the whole film. And I love the way it ends. I love the I guess you could say the message behind it, the reveal behind it, however the right way to articulate that is. But I really love the ending, and I just really love this film. Yeah, like I said, I did not expect to be impacted this much, and it did move me quite a bit. And I mean, dude, Neon. I feel like Neon is slept on. Everyone talks about A24, and I mean, Neon has always done good movies, but I feel like lately they've been really putting their best foot forward in competition with A24. And yeah, such a great film. Highly recommend it. Seek it out. At least where I live in Southern California, so I'm blessed with a lot of theaters and stuff. Try to seek the film out, because even for me, I didn't see a ton of availability. So hopefully you guys could check it out wherever you live, because this movie needs to be supported, and it's such a low budget experimental art film done by such Hollywood giants, which I love. It's done by a very famous director and a very famous writer. And I love that they're obviously they still have passion for cinema. They're still pushing the boundaries. They're pushing it while being smaller, you know? And I love that. You would think this film was done by some 30-year-old living in New York, like A24, like some 30-year-old living in New York. And this is his first film. This is his second film. And this is, these are done by veterans, so to speak. And yeah, I thought it was very well done. And it says a lot about what you could do with so little. And yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the film, on my thoughts, and check it out. Highly recommend it. Thanks for watching.